This bad boy can hold so much spaghetti. Bags, bags, bags. And I'm not just talking about the ones forming under my eyes. Much like everyone else in the film photography community, I suffer from an extreme case of GAS. That's gear acquisition syndrome. This leads to a buildup of cameras, lenses, and other accessories that take up more and more space throughout your home. But if you ever want to take that gear out and use it anywhere, you tend to have to carry it in something. This has led to a secondary side effect of BAS. Or is it base? English is weird. Either way, I have a significant collection of bags and other containers that I use to store and transport equipment away from my home. And so I figured I'd make this video as a reminder to my future self that I don't need any more bags. You know, at least until I really do need one. So whether you suffer from GAS, BAS, base, or something else entirely, join me as I take you on a journey through my history of bags. Mostly from smallest to largest and most conventional to most unhinged. Starting out with the small category. These are bags that comfortably fit in other larger bags that you might use once you get to your destination for a very small kit. First up is the Cotopaxi Bataan del Dia Fanny Pack. I picked this bag up about a year ago, just before heading out to St. Louis for Tyler's graduation, and I mainly chose it because I liked the colors. I've always been a fan of Cotopaxi's blatant disregard for color theory and wanted in on a piece of the action. Hence, the humble fanny pack. This bag is built around one main pocket, with some mesh pockets in the back. Can accommodate a couple extra rolls of film, point and shoot camera, your sunglasses, and a pocket camera. Although, because it doesn't have a lot of organization, everything's kind of just mingling around inside. While it's plenty spacious inside, the flimsy construction leaves a lot to be desired. And I found the zipper a little hard to use when it was weighed down with a camera. That and its single pocket construction has led me not to use it a whole lot in the last year. And honestly, I'd probably be okay parting ways with it sooner rather than later. Next up is the REI Co-op Trail 2 Waist Pack in Apex Blue. Following the disappointment with the Cotopaxi, I was in search of another small fanny pack type bag to take with me to Elements in 2024. The requirements were it had to fit my point and shoot camera, several rolls of 120 and 35mm film, have a space for my sunglasses, and be able to hold my earplugs. And the Trail 2 delivered on all expectations. And it's got a fantastic color. This bag features 3 pockets, a flat one in the back that can accommodate a 5-pack of 120 film, a main pocket big enough for a point and shoot camera, a couple extra rolls of film, and some earplugs that were already in there, as well as my DJI pocket camera. And then you still have room up front for your sunglasses. Granted, this is a little full, but you can always pare it down if you want. Overall, I'm very happy with this bag, and I've used it quite a bit since I picked it up last summer. And the only downside really is that it's kind of small and it's not waterproof at all. So if you're out in the elements, your stuff's getting wet. Moving on, we have the Alpaka Go Sling in black Axoflux 600D material. Whatever the hell that means. I was driven to pick this one up late last year in preparation for my trip to Denmark and Germany because I wanted something that was a little bit more discreet than the Trail 2. It also had to be big enough to fit the Bessa R2M, an extra lens, a couple extra rolls of film, my sunglasses, and various other travel necessities. Bonus points if it was waterproof. And then came along the Go Sling, which hit all the marks and more. This bag features some allegedly waterproof material and waterproof zippers. The main compartment is huge, with a felt-lined back compartment, main compartment, and 2 sub-compartments. It's a perfect fit for the Bessa R2M, extra lens, the external viewfinder, and a couple rolls of film. And then the front can accommodate your sunglasses, as well as the pocket camera. Another nice feature is this loop of fabric right here. Alpaka has something similar to Peak Design's capture clip, but it's exactly the same size as the capture clip. So if you already have one, like I do, you can easily adapt it to this bag. Just like that. There's also a back pocket where you can add like maps or brochures or whatever else you want. This bag worked extremely well for the trip and really surprised me with the amount of stuff that could fit inside of it. It wasn't a problem to hold the camera, lens, extra film, and other trinkets that we picked up along the way. The weatherproofing really lived up to its name because I've gotten caught out in the rain with this thing a couple of times and everything inside has stayed bone dry. The only downside is this weird quick release clip on the strap. You just kind of pull up on it and it comes apart. I was considering zip tying it before going to Europe because I didn't want anybody to see me put my camera in the bag and then come up and snatch it off of me if they recognize this system. It does attach super quickly and that's really nice, but it just seems like it's really easy to take apart. I don't know why anybody would want a quick release on their fanny pack strap. Although in Alpaka's defense, when it's under tension, it doesn't seem to want to come undone. And then to round out the small bag category is this unbranded tactical sling bag that I picked up off of Amazon. I got this several years ago to take on a family trip to Italy, and the main requirement was that it had to hold my Nikon AD3 in an easily accessible spot and an extra roll of film, plus have extra room for a raincoat or other stuff in the main compartment. And this $14 bag really fit the bill. When I use this bag for Italy, I use the front compartment to store extra rolls of film and my point and shoot for easy access. And then I use the main compartment to carry a rain jacket. If you're desperate, you can also fit a small water bottle in the main compartment. And the front is still open for other accessories if you want to add maybe earplugs, I don't know, gym locker, a child-sized pair of sunglasses, not like this, but still works pretty well. One time I even fit the Mamiya 645 and my light meter in the main compartment, and a 5-pack of 120 film in the front compartment. It's extremely bulky and really maxes out this bag. I also particularly like the Molly loops and the Velcro square that open it up for a lot of customization. Nowadays I don't really use it to carry cameras, but it is a very reliable gym bag. And for as cheap as it was, I can't really complain. Next up is the medium category. I think of these bags as ideally suited for everyday carry, but with larger setups, like a 35mm SLR or medium format setup. First up is the Commander Large Camera Bag, which I think is the very first result when you search for camera bag on Amazon. This was the very first camera bag that I owned after I figured out that the cardboard box I was using to store my camera and lenses wasn't going to cut it anymore. This is a pretty bog standard camera bag. It's reconfigurable on the inside to fit whatever you need, whether that be a camera, lenses, film boxes you don't want to get rid of. It's also got a mesh section up here if you want to store stuff up there. Front pocket for more film boxes, I guess. And then side sections for, oh look, there's still film in here. Oh, Portra 400, look at that. Free film. While I haven't traveled super extensively with this bag, it's perfectly acceptable for what it is, and provided a very safe and secure home for the Minolta and a couple of lenses for several years before upgrading. In fact, that's what I use it for now, just safe extra lens storage. Next up, we have the Wandrd Rogue 9-liter sling in Dallol yellow. If you have no idea what Dallol yellow is, neither did I. Apparently, it's the geothermal area around a volcano in Ethiopia, known for its extremely colorful landscape. And while this yellow doesn't quite do it justice, you can see this thing coming from a mile away. The Wandrd bag features a few main compartments. This front area is so tight, you can barely fit anything in here, so I don't really use it all that often, other than for apparently airline tickets. The main compartment is nice and big and came with 2 of these movable dividers. I only have one in here right now, but it's the perfect size for the Mamiya 645 and the extra lens. Plus you can put a 5-pack of 120 film in the back, and then the pocket camera can go in the lid. Alternatively, if you didn't want the extra lens, you could change it out for the point and shoot and still have a little extra room for some 35mm film. I use this bag extensively, especially if I want to take a larger camera but still want to travel light. The zippers and fabric claim to be weatherproof, and while I've never tested it out in the rain, I've had the content stay totally dry in a pretty heavy wintry mix. I think my biggest complaint is that because the material's kind of sealed and weatherproofed, the whole bag doesn't really give a whole lot. So if you're trying to pack in extra stuff, you really can't fit a whole lot more than the claimed 9 liters. When it's full, it's full. That and the front pocket is abysmally small, but you can strap a tripod onto this thing pretty easily, so it gets extra points for that. Rounding out the medium category is the Peak Design Camera Cube V3 in Smedium size. Peak Design assures me that you can use this as a standalone camera bag, even though I don't see why you would ever do that. The camera cube offers a lot of diversity with the way you set it up because of the Velcro dividers, but one way that I've done it, but I have it set up for medium format at the moment. The camera goes in there, extra film back here, lens, film, and then for the heck of it, why not include an extra camera? I personally picked it up to combine it with some of my larger bags to give me access to some protected camera storage when I'm traveling. So I can't really say a whole lot about it standalone, but once we get to the bigger bags, you'll see that it's pretty impressive. Moving on to the large category, these are bags that you could reasonably do an overnight with or carry a ton of camera gear wherever you go. First up is the Peak Design 25-liter outdoor travel backpack in Eclipse. I was in the market for a new backpack, and when Peak Design announced this Kickstarter, I decided to hop in on it, especially because I could combine it with my Smedium camera cube. So without the camera cube, the bag is designed around a big open space and isn't super useful. You do have a laptop sleeve on the side here, but when you pair it with the cube, it becomes much more usable and customizable, like I said before.
What you say?
And you can store your sunglasses in the mesh pouch on the straps. And there's a dedicated spot for the capture clip, which is really nice. Plus you throw in the 2 side pockets so you can carry a water bottle and a travel tripod. You have yourself a very capable day backpack. One of my favorite features are the gear loops that are placed all over the backpack that let you lash or tether things to the bag, so you can customize the bag to carry really whatever you want. I've used it in conjunction with some of Peak Design's new travel line bags, and I've been very happy with the results. Hopefully I'll get a ton of use out of this bag. Because of Peak Design's lifetime guarantee, I don't think that'll be a problem. Not sponsored, but I do really like this bag so far. This is the Lowepro Fastpack BP 250 AW3. That's Lowepro as in Rob Lowe is a pro, not this Lowepro.
Hello Internet, I'm me, Nick Lowe Presti.
It has a long name. Fastpack because it has this side access panel, BP for backpack presumably, AW means all weather because it comes with the Rainfly, the third because it's the third of its name, and I don't know what the 250 means. But this was my first real camera bag after getting a little bit more serious about photography. I picked it up in 2020 when I was working at Best Buy, so I was able to get it at a discount, and it's treated me very well since then. It's a good camera bag and good backpack, but it's not exceptional in either regard. This bag is an absolute monster when it comes to gear storage. This is just one example of how I've set it up. So you got the Mamiya 645, squeezes in the bottom, second film back, the extra lens, and then you still have room for, this is my DJI kit and all of its accessories, and a point and shoot. And then in the top, you still have room for all sorts of other things. Obviously you have the Rainfly already, but you can fit a Steam Deck, light meter, as much extra film as you want. And then in the front pocket, you can put sunglasses, I don't know, another camera, charging cables, batteries, whatever you want really. And then you still have room for 2 laptops in the back. Like I said, this thing's a beast. The biggest advantage of this bag is that it can fit both of my work laptops. So I use this bag whenever I need to travel for work. The capture clip does fit. You can hold a tripod in the one side pocket or a water bottle. Yeah, I don't really have too many complaints about this bag. It's treated me well over the last several years and is still holding up very well, even if it's starting to look a little bit worn. And it comes with the Rainfly included, something that's an add-on for Peak Design bags. So I would highly recommend this bag just for the sheer amount of stuff that you can fit in it. Good job, Lowepro. I like your bag. Just gonna move these. Next up, we have the extra large category where volume is the only thing that matters. First up, we have the Pelican 1535 Air. And I'm gonna be honest with you, I haven't traveled very much with this. Ever since I got it, it has left my house 2, maybe 3 times. It's been playing the role of home base for most of my cherished cameras and lenses for the last year. And while I didn't really need it at the time, B&H had it on a super deep discount, so I just decided to pick it up. This Pelican is supposedly carry-on size for all US airlines. I have yet to test that, but it's reassuring knowing that I could carry it onto a plane if I needed to. It looks good, it's rugged, it's fairly lightweight for what it is. It's got wheels, it's got handles, and it gives me a ton of street cred. I splurged and got the divider system so I could set it up exactly how I needed to.
I forgot to film packing it, but this is how I usually have the Pelican set up.
Yeah, no complaints. And I like having all of my most precious equipment in one spot, so if the building's ever on fire, I know what I'm grabbing first. Well, this and the cat. Next up is the REI Co-op 60-liter Big Haul in stone blue, which I don't believe for a second that this is blue, but whatever. This bag by itself, very capable duffel bag, very rugged, handles on all sides. It has backpack straps in this pouch here that I use all the time. I picked this up last year because I needed a duffel bag to travel with, and it just so happens that the Smedium camera cube fits perfectly in the top or bottom of this bag, which was super convenient for when I went to Minnesota last year and wanted to bring some extra camera stuff. Like I said before, you can set up the camera cube however you want to, but in the Big Haul, I usually put it in like this. put the expensive stuff in my Lowepro backpack and the less expensive accessories and film in the camera cube, just in case they needed me to gate check this bad boy last second. I guess this is more about the advantages of the camera cube rather than just this bag, but the Smedium camera cube does fit in this very well. I've used it in that configuration a couple of times and it's been great. Good job, REI. And to round out the extra large section of the video, this is the JanSport Big Bear 82, an 82-liter bona fide camping backpack. And when paired with the Smedium camera cube, it is perfect for traipsing around Europe with. Because a lot of camping backpacks are super versatile and allow you to adjust to fit whatever it is you're carrying, it's very easy to fit the camera cube up here on top of all of your other stuff before you close the brain. I didn't actually buy this. My parents gifted this for me one year when I was in Boy Scouts, but I don't think I ever took it on a camping trip because shortly after I quit Boy Scouts and took up robotics, because I'm a nerd. But the camera cube paired with this bag was a great combination for Europe, and I'll probably be using it again whenever I decide that I want to use this bag. For some reason, roller bags and I just don't get along all that well. Once again, more of an advertisement for the camera cube, but hey, it allowed me to carry a camera in this bag. And now we've reached the unhinged category, where we're stretching the definition of bag to its absolute limits. First up, the humble plastic bag. It's made of plastic, recyclable in some jurisdictions, and completely banned in others. It's a plastic bag, you know what it looks like. I can't say that the plastic bag has ever been my first choice for a camera bag, but in a pinch, it does the job. It's a great last-ditch effort if you don't want to just leave your cameras or accessories on the ground. Next up, the cardboard box. Not this specifically, but a cardboard box was my first camera bag back when I picked up the Minolta. It came with the camera body and a few lenses, and this was the perfect vessel to store them in for far too long. In fact, you might even call it my very first camera cube, because when I wanted to go out and shoot, I would just take the cardboard box and put it in my backpack. This isn't the exact box that came with the Minolta, but for the first year that I owned it, this is basically how I stored it. They're completely recyclable, come in every shape and size you could imagine, and they're readily available for anybody who wants to use one. Would I recommend you carry your camera and equipment in here? No. But like the plastic bag, when you're out of options, you gotta take what you can get. And if you're not really moving around that much, cardboard boxes work pretty well. And then we have what some might consider to be the Cadillac of camera bags, the classic Homer bucket. I picked this up for Elements last year and wanted a large, waterproof, multi-purpose container. And because I care so little about the Holga, it ended up in a prominent place right on top of the pile in the car on the way to the festival. It's a good container and an okay camera bag, as long as you're fine having terrible ergonomics. And as a bonus, the Smedium camera cube fits right inside. Head to your local Home Depot to find out more. Home Depot. Wouldn't that be crazy if Home Depot sponsored me? This is my Topeak Folding Trolleytote. It came bundled with my bike rack, and it's been very convenient over the last couple of years to carry groceries, sporting equipment, and camera gear. There's ample room for all sorts of photography odds and ends, and it too fits the Smedium camera cube right inside. Wow! Sorry if this video feels like it's turning into an extended ad for the Smedium camera cube. It's just so practical. And the best part is, it just slots right under my bike rack. How neat is that? Look at me go, I'm riding away. Oh hey. What are you doing in the back of my car? Well, since you're here, I might as well talk about my biggest camera bag, which is my car. Now, normally I would keep my camera in a bag in my car, but that's not really any fun. So maybe I'll just show you what it's like to put a camera in the back of your car without a bag, as a kind of cautionary tale. So yeah, maybe use a proper camera bag when you're transporting a camera inside a vehicle. Well, as you can see, anything can be a camera bag, as long as it can hold a camera and you just kind of ignore what the word bag means. I hope you enjoyed this look through my collection, and maybe you got an idea for your next camera bag purchase. Thanks for watching. Be sure to like and subscribe so you can see what crazy adventures I take these bags on next. And let me know down in the comments the strangest container you've ever carried your camera in. And I'll see you next time.
I'm the bag man. I eat bags.